We're going live.
From Raleigh, North Carolina, Taking Tex Ramblecast. We talk about movies, sports, whatever. It's J-Jax Ramblecast. There you go.
Woo!
That was pretty good of me to dig up an old recording of Jay from the old Ramblecast. It's amazing.
Yeah,
It's almost like he's here.
Nick, you sounded just like Jay.
I
It
did.
was
It was my best VO work I've done in years.
the way that you made the ukulele sound like an electric guitar.
I know. It must have taken you forever to tune it while we just sat around and waited.
It's a lot of work with 4 strings. Yeah.
Did you get the G string right?
I got the G string
That's where we're all
in a lot of different ways is the most important string.
All right.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's well known on Les Pauls, the G string and the D string, it could be a little pitchy at times. It's a little more finessing.
Like the girl from Glee, she could always be pitchy, right?
And then I'm in a Smashing Pumpkins cover band, or
I didn't know that.
So I have to have a guitar that's tuned down half a step. So my Gibson is that guitar, and it's since I have to get it set up in that range, which I haven't done. So it's really finicky right now. She's really finicky.
It's really
You're not the one hitting all of Billy's vocal cords?
No, I'm just playing guitar. I'm the James, whatever his name is.
I never knew you were Smashing
I like how you're like, I don't know who these guys are. I just
To be honest, I am not a Smashing Pumpkins fan. I mean,
Oh.
I like Smashing Pumpkins. No, I like Smashing Pumpkins,
I'm just not a fan.
but I'm not like a diehard or anything. But the other band that I'm in, the bassist was setting that up, and he was like, "You could do it. Do you want to do it? I want to hear." And I was like, "Cool."
How'd the bass player get so much power?
Well, he's in another band that's actually pretty popular in the area.
Oh, okay. So is he part of the Wonders?
No.
Don't you know that the bass player is always the most powerful member of the band? I mean,
I don't know. I've seen the Wonders like 100 times. I mean, the guy didn't even have a name.
That's not really a real band.
You're saying that's fake? That's not VH. I thought that was a VH1
No.
behind the scenes thing.
Just saying, John Paul Jones, he's the one everyone thinks of. They think of Led Zeppelin.
If you think Led Zeppelin, you start with John Paul Jones.
Exactly.
Well, he does have the coolest. He has the coolest name,
Mhm.
and he doesn't have a squeaky voice.
And the coolest hair. Well, speaking of the John Paul Jones and famous guitar,
Play it, Jake Paul Jones. Play it.
I really want to go to the Met Museum of Art in New York because they have this exhibit right now with like all of these guitars and basses and drums from these famous people in rock and roll history. Like they have,
They have that at the Hall of Fame in Cleveland.
well, no, this is like even more than the Hall of Fame in Cleveland. So they have every musician is represented. They have like the drum set that Ringo Starr had in the Ed Sullivan Show. They have Pages.
Really?
Number 1 Les Paul is on display.
Right now, the Beatles.
The guitar that Chuck Berry recorded Johnny Be Good on is there.
What about his cousin Marvin?
No.
Are you sure?
What's the guitar? You know this. The Eagles guitars that actually wrote Hotel California.
Then
Don Fiedler.
His double neck guitar is there. The white double neck guitar.
anything by REO Speedwagon.
I'm sure Steve Miller's guitars are. I mean, everybody's there.
I'd be so paranoid. I know that those things would be insured out the wazoo, but and maybe they don't care about those guitars because they're so old. But I'm just so particular about my possessions. Where I'm like, I'm not giving you my guitar. Are you serious?
I would think it would be very.
It's the
like,
fucking Met. Like,
Not in this. I'm just talking about giving my stuff to anybody.
There's someone from that. They're listening to us right now that is a big fan. They want your ukulele. You're going to say no?
Yeah.
they have like this synthesizer that Steve Miller used to do Fly Like an Eagle. Synthesizer there. I mean, they just have all this stuff, and I want to see it so bad because it's so cool.
As Jay has pointed out, it's not just a ukulele. It's a ukulele with a resonator. I mean, you're not going to find many.
The resonator. If you haven't guessed already, we have a special guest today. Not really. I shouldn't be a guest because his name is on the credits every week. And top billing. But we did it for our patrons today. we brought in because Chris couldn't make it tonight, so we dragged Jay out of retirement. Jay Glatfelter is in the house.
I think he's contractually obligated to at least be on 2 episodes per year.
Well, this is one.
I've been on. Was it last year? Late last year?
That was for last year.
I think, but technically, we've changed the name of the show. The format of the show is way different.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a little more entertaining.
It's called
But,
the RCAD now. It's got
yeah.
a catchy little, thing.
But I'd like to thank our patrons who make this show possible. Without them, we couldn't afford to have Jay on the show.
Nice
Really
segue.
took all the budget we have to get Jay on the show. 'Cause It was like negotiating. Like I almost gave up. I said, "Dude, what the hell? You started the RCAD or you started the Ramblecast, and it's like, come on, dude, relax." But finally, after we had to we mortgaged the whole company just to get Jay on here.
All the
It's
stock
like-
options out the
it's like-
window.
And
It's
can
like
you?
Andy Griffith coming back to Mayberry RFD.
Yeah.
That's what it's like.
Exactly. And so, but we thank Tech from Tokyo, Eckhart Rickner Glatfelter, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with a Plan, the Drake the Destroyer, and Ed the Creepy Letter Carrier. Thanks for doing what you do. And thanks for all our patrons. You become a patron, go to jayandjack.com, click on the little button that says, I want to be a patron.
Well, we got some great stuff for our patrons right now. I mean, we have Nick's Stories, episode 3 just dropped.
It did.
So that's great. And then Jack guest starred on Mr. Bun Patty Bun, Zachary Glatfelter.
Yeah, I'm a twin twister.
Yeah.
Or no, a twin
Turn twister. I don't even know.
is it turn twister? I don't know because I kept asking him, what does that mean?
Between the two.
He goes, Papa, turn twisters. I go, okay.
You and him, turn twisters.
He was so excited to do. I think he thought everybody was going to podcast.
He wanted every
Oh,
podcast.
wow.
But Jay, of course, we asked Jay to come in there, and Jay goes, no. Gotta pay me. Gotta pay me to podcast. And the budget for the Survivor one wasn't enough to get Jay in there. So Jay told his son no.
No, it was
See, that's exactly how he said it.
Yeah.
4 is a crowd or whatever the phrase is.
No, we were supposed to do it in we were supposed to take turns. I think what he was doing was like a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
We all take turns doing the podcast, but
Yeah,
only I did it because I'm a good grandpa. So,
exactly. See, there you go.
and I got to work with Mr. Bun Patty Bun. So
I try to keep my relationship with my son at a good enough distance where it's like he doesn't know that I love him.
yeah, that is the key to successful being a successful
It
father.
really is. Yeah.
Like-
You have to keep them in fear until the day they graduate high school. And then you can shed a tear and say, I love you, son. And they're like, I didn't know.
Well, you look at all the famous fathers in the 60s on TV, Ward Cleaver, Ozzie Nelson, they all did the same thing.
Mhm.
Get the hell away from me, I'm drinking!
Your
Remember
mother
they-
forced me to drink, and then now you really make me drink.
When I make the threat that I'm going to return him to the hospital, he has to believe the threat. you
Yeah.
know? So
I brought you in this world. I can take you out.
yeah, exactly. No, it's just I don't like podcasting.
Again, why the high price tag we had to get you on the...
No, I'm on like 27 podcasts right now. The Game of Thrones is in full swing.
Yeah, but that's over. It's over next week.
Even Nick got me to the dark side this past week, where I was, supporting Nick throughout the episode.
There has to be at least one episode where I go full dark side every season of Game of Thrones, and hopefully last week's was it.
But you started dragging me down the rabbit hole. I'm like, no, stay positive. No, don't go down that road.
I'm first to criticize Nick being nitpicky, but I think these were like valid. It wasn't. and
I had no problem. I disagreed with a couple of things, but overall, I couldn't argue with him.
I like Last Jedi, so I'm not going to apologize for that. Oh man, but it's good to see you guys. I mean, I haven't seen some of you in forever.
Yeah,
Nice.
almost like 24 hours.
I still have kind of flashbacks to Fireball Island. I'm like, was that real? Did I just ignore everybody and was I just consumed with the treasure?
Well, that's what's neat about the Raleigh meetups is that Jay has so many, if you want to call them antique toys, that they bring back memories, and then you want to kind of get lost in that memory of like, I want to play Crossfire for the next 2 or 3 hours. And it's like, yeah. And then you're like,
He didn't break out Crossfire when I was there.
oh, really?
Or Galaga, or a Pac-Man, or
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things. But that's what I'm saying. And then, then like Colleen's like, Nick, you're ignoring everyone who's here to see you. And you're like, fine, I'll talk. No, I'm kidding.
Well, there was this rebellion against Cards Against Humanity this year.
Yes.
Because I think it's fun, and it's I'm not gonna bash it or anything, but as the meetup has grown, and there's like Sunday used to be kind of the chill day. Most people went home on Sunday, so we would do like a small Cards Against Humanity.
And this year they wouldn't leave.
People were here till like Monday. I think this one broke Colleen, because Colleen usually can keep going nonstop. Monday broke Colleen.
Getting a little older. Just saying.
But
Happens to all of us.
But the problem with Cards Against Humanity now is there's like last year there was like 40 people doing it, and it went on forever. It was like 5 hours long.
It was epic.
And some people might like that, but after a while, it's like, okay, I'm kind of.
You can only take so many abortion jokes until you yourself are kind of turned to the dark side. So
yeah.
Well, I usually like sitting back and watching people's reaction stuff, and kind of seeing how, like I said, Dennis plays where he doesn't blink, and as everybody else, you're watching all the different players. But Brian stayed out this time, and then John from Kentucky was out there, and we're kind of talking like we're good 15 feet away, and people finally go, "Shh, we can't hear us yell." So when you have people who are, I'm not saying, might have had something to drink. So I said, well, I'll go downstairs and watch the Padre game.
And it'll be relaxing to watch the Padre game down there, and then all of a sudden the Fireball Island game just turned really intense.
It was intense, and it brings out, because like for those who don't know Fireball Island, it's a game. It's like a 3D game from the 80s where
I've never played it.
It's kind of like a more. Is this? Can we curse?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is
the RCAD, buddy.
After dark.
It's basically like Chutes and Ladders, but you just end up saying "fuck you" to everybody like every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Because at each turn you can drop these little marbles that'll knock you off the board and set you back, and it happens again, and you can be like total assholes as you try to get to the top of this mountain, get a jewel.
I heard someone keep saying it's like high school all over again.
No. Just to clarify, because the broadcast. And I'm not going to throw all the broadcasters under the bus, but Colleen can, she has her facts wrong. Okay. Maggie actually won. Okay. So like I think she was under the impression that Maggie, got shafted or something like that. To be fair,
Maggie won the last game and it was ruthless.
It was. And to be fair, I was the one that like took her out because she was about to win. And I was like, no.
But isn't that the object of the game?
Well, it is. It is kind of like fuck your neighbor. You're constantly like screwing over somebody else that you've kind of aligned with.
Who are the people in your neighborhood?
Now, to be clear though, Zach played this game, and he had this bubble of cuteness around him that protected him the whole time, because none of us that were playing were like going to actually annihilate.
Hold on a second. When I was watching, you guys kept taking him out.
No, we didn't.
Wait. He had that jewel thing.
He was the It would be the last straw to like actually hurt Zach in the game, and so.
But I took because Jay had to tell Jay, buddy, hey, fuck you.
Jay
Just
wasn't,
a game, man.
Jay wasn't playing at that point. It was Dan, Drake, and myself, and it was like we were fighting amongst ourselves. And here's plucky-go-lucky Zach just like do like all the way from the back, comes forward, gets the jewel, and wins the entire game.
And so this is like the cookie debate to you.
No,
there's no
debate.
Just as bitter, man.
No, I'm not bitter about it. It's fine.
The damn kid won because he was cute.
His weekend, but here's the thing. So Drake won a few times the first night. And yes. I think I won one of the games, and he won 2 of the games, I think.
Yes.
And maybe I won 2. I won 2 as well. Either way, Drake then.
Wait, do you have your board? Do you have it marked up who won who? And
no,
it's not yet.
Jay's Arcade official scoreboard, but so then there was this alliance between Maggie. and Matt to make sure that neither Drake or myself would win again.
Yes,
And
that is true. Maggie and I.
again, alliances get formed.
And Matt's you've never watched Survivor, have you?
No, not a whole episode. I know the
Okay.
concept though.
Okay.
Go ahead.
But then I think we all kind of started picking on Drake, myself included, where he was getting so bent out of shape about it. So when like somebody starts getting like really upset about something, you almost kind of want to poke them even more. So, and then so Drake was getting really pissed off about it. And then Matt has a chance to win. So I start helping Matt, and I start playing my cards, and I give Matt the game. He has won the game.
Yes.
Of my
so the only reason Matt ever won was
No,
because you gave him the game.
No. I won it fair and square outright. What Jay's talking about is Jay was like helping me out to win the game. I would have won the game, but Maggie lays this card down and basically takes away my win.
So I have like a double the roll, which would have been 6, which he would have gotten the jewel on the last space, and Drake basically could pass somebody and take the jewel.
Is this a game you just make up as you go along?
No, there is a constitution, a holy doctrine in which you have to go and interpret the original founder's text to find out what is the right answer.
That is true.
And but anyway, so Maggie screwed over Matt, and he ended up losing that game. And Maggie felt really bad about it for the rest of the trip. But then when Matt
Just a game.
in that last game, I thought Maggie was going to kill Matt. So it was an intense weekend.
It's fun, and mind you, this is only a 4-player game. So Cards Against Humanity can be this unruly like thing with a bunch of abortion jokes, but we keep it PC with Fireball.
Well, that and I bought a second Fireball game so that we could do a tournament.
Yes.
And so next year, if there's
you want everybody hating each other at this.
Well, the first time we did it, there was a lot of people that wanted to play at once, and people had to like team up. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll get 2 boards so everyone can play. And we'll do like a tournament style, like 8. That, and then you do the top 2 from that, and then
you know what you need to get, because I've seen it. That where we used to go to Grandma Joanne's in San Diego. We used to do the horse racing game and bet on it. They have that. They have that the horse racing game. Remember, we used to roll the dice, and the 6 horses would go, and you bet on which horse you think is going to win.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That's what you should get. A little bit of gambling, have some fun. Take people's money.
Vegas.
Sure, yeah. Nobody's gonna get bent out of shape about taking people's money.
You forget,
you
forget there's a cop that shows up every year as well.
Exactly.
That's never stopped any of the other.
But he can be bought.
For now.
Next year he's gonna show up and he's gonna be like FBI.
Stop, FBI, and we all run away, and he can't catch us.
He needs to join the IRS instead.
It was a lot of fun. So next year, if there's enough people interested in the Fireball tournament, I have 2 boards, so 8 people could play this game next year.
So 32 people are left out.
There's other things,
All right.
So I mean, the whole time we were playing Fireball, karaoke was happening, other things were going on. I don't know. There was, it was a fun time. So
yeah, it was a great weekend. I had a good time.
I didn't hear you hit falsetto once in your karaoke, Jay.
No, I did. I don't know if there was some ones I did falsetto in. I got falsetto-y.
Okay.
But in the what's the Shallow song, I have to get my Bradley Cooper on, which he's kind of taking the lower run.
All right, I'll ask Jay. Better singer, Bradley Cooper or you?
Bradley Cooper's a good singer.
Well, is he better than you?
Yeah, I would say so.
Because that was one of our podcasts. Screw you, Bradley Cooper, because he was so. I think it was Chris was angry, wasn't he?
It was Chris, yeah.
He was just pissed that Bradley Cooper has all the looks and talent, which is not fair.
But is he in a Smashing Pumpkins cover band though?
Exactly.
Nobody. He bought one.
I forget. It's actually
a birthday party,
and it's actually a really famous clip now on Inside the Actor Studio where Bradley Cooper, when he was in acting school, asked some. I forget. He's known for being a pompous actor, but he asked some advice of the actor up on stage, and the guy was like, "Well, blah blah blah," and basically told Bradley Cooper he was never going to make it. And you're like,
I remember seeing that. So so now we're saying Bradley Cooper's an asshole too.
I didn't say that. You said that.
No, I'm just saying that's where Jay comes on the show. We have to.
I think there's something to be a good artist that you have to be not a very good human being, and so I think there is a bit.
I disagree with that.
No, I mean, I think there are good humans, but I think like the great artists, there's something wrong with them. There's something like generally wrong with them.
That is very true.
Well, they're great, and everyone keeps telling them they're great, so they get to piss on everybody else below.
You either get like dissociated from reality because you live in this different orbit from the rest of normal humans, or your viewpoint is so skewed from like normal reality that's how you create great art, but it doesn't mean you're a good person or a fun.
Yeah, like take Daenerys for instance.
But is she an artist though?
With fire.
Yeah. I bet you look from if you put a drone over there, it looks some good artwork over it. Spoiler, but anyway.
She could melt glass. I mean,
you might call it, burning a city. I call it graffiti.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
It's just art.
Yeah.
But yeah, so to me, well, it's like is it John Mulaney? I always get his name wrong. I think it's John Mulaney. I think that's
from what?
He's the comedian.
I know the name John Mulaney, but I'm trying to think.
Yeah, Mulaney.
Oh yeah. I know who you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
Really funny. He's really funny. I really like him.
And I love those appearances on SNL. They've been really
yes. And the stand amazing. It's all they're on.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
But he had his latest one on Netflix, which I think is Kid Gorgeous. I think is the most recent one. But
he's like the straight-laced guy, right? He's like,
he talked about his time on SNL. And people always say, "Oh, are they nice?" Or he's like, "No, like be Mick Jagger." He just says like Diet Coke, and a Diet Coke appears in his hand. That's not a normal person. So, anyways, it's pretty funny. All that is to say, famous people. If you're too famous, where you're not, part of normal society too long, I think you kind of lose.
I think this is a great place for a commercial break.
That quickly, okay.
How do you guys do timestamps for this, by the way?
Matt usually, we're still recording now. Matt usually has a timer. As soon as it goes live, he hits go, and then he tells me the time when someone says commercial break, and then we tell Colleen the time difference.
And sometimes I write it down if Matt can't do the math.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest. When you said it, I got really nervous. Like, I don't know where the time sticks. Because usually in the other shows, I have the time on the GarageBand. I'm like, okay, it's right there. I text immediately.
Yeah, well, because Adam Sandler hosted SNL the other day, and I was reading an article after that. I did not know that all of them were fired from SNL.
Right.
Because to me, when I think there's a lot of classic periods of SNL, and then there's a lot of really bad periods of SNL. But I love that early '90s bit where you have Dana Carvey and Mike Myers and Adam Sandler.
They were all fired. They were all fired.
They were all fired. Yeah, because apparently, like their first few seasons were really good, but like the '94, '95 seasons got really stagnant.
I think they just cited Chris Farley, Chris Rock, and Adam Sandler.
Well, they never gave Chris Rock
anything. They didn't cite Dana Carvey as being
Mike
fired.
Carvey, all of them left in the early '90s, and then it just left the new guys, which were Chris Farley, Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Well, Chris Rock never got anything to do, really.
No, they didn't really use.
They didn't utilize his talent at all.
Well, they're responsible for their own sketches, though. So
I know,
maybe he just didn't write much.
But you have to get into the.
There's also there's writers that will write for people.
Yeah.
True.
Yes, that is true.
That's why I love Conan's podcast, because usually he'll talk about his writing time at SNL and the sketches that he would write. Like I think he wrote the Hans and Franz sketches for Dana Carvey.
Bobby Monahan told us about how it worked and all that stuff when we had him on many years ago. And it was like, remember that one story he was telling us where he was walking down the street and he had his, I don't feel like going back. To tell the right, I don't feel like working this week on the show.
Well, that's what I always liked about Larry David. A lot of his stuff within Seinfeld was things he did on SNL. Like George quitting, work, for example, going, "That's it, I'm gone, I'm leaving."
George is out of here.
And then the next day he shows back up to work, and no one says a word. Because Larry David would do that at SNL, like, "That's it, this is bullshit."
That's what makes his show so funny, Curb Your Enthusiasm, because it's pretty much how he is. Right?
George, right?
Yeah. It's hilarious.
And that's why that show is great, because it's just if you like George, that's all it is. It's pure George.
It's pure George.
And most of it's improv too.
And speaking of other SNL alums, there's one episode left of Veep. The last episode aired this past weekend. I have not seen it yet, but
I haven't seen this season yet, so I got to catch
this
up.
season's been amazing.
And how many seasons are there?
7.
7. And that's what's crazy. To me, it seems like that show just started, and it's hard to believe it's been 7 seasons.
It's a very funny show.
Mm-hmm. Great
So
actors.
good. And this season is like just hilarious.
I need to catch up on this season as well. My goal was to like get through Barry and then
I haven't started. I'm saving Barry season 2.
I'm getting ready to start the second episode, and I keep getting derailed. I was going to start watching it, then I saw Chernobyl, and I said, "All right, I'm going to start Chernobyl."
Yeah, I'm gonna watch
that's
Chernobyl
cheery.
after this.
I thought it was like they did the whole miniseries all at once.
oh,
So I watched one episode. I go, "Where's the other ones?" I go, "Oh, it's
HBO's
once a
never
week."
done
This is HBO, man.
Yeah.
Come on, HBO. I want to see what happens.
Even their miniseries, they still spread it out.
I mean, I was laughing so hard during Chernobyl. I woke my wife up. She's like, "What?" I go, "I'm watching Chernobyl. It's so funny."
So
Anyway.
you're saying it's a dark comedy?
It's a very dark
comedy.
Oh wait, we're gonna lock them all in the city and not let them out. That's funny. Anyway.
There's a bright side to nuclear waste.
So we're gonna take our family out to see the fire, and all of a sudden it starts raining waste on us, and and I'm gonna pick up my baby, let her see the waste.
You're literally
Spoilers.
glowing. Yeah.
Man.
Probably okay. I might have gotten it wrong. It's not a comedy.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
All right.
it's
Fair
pretty.
enough.
It's pretty sad in a way. I'm not kind of
I
joking
would,
about it.
I would say Barry is probably one of the best shows that has come out on TV in the past 5 years. At least the first season. I haven't seen the second season, but season 1 is amazing.
I've really enjoyed season 2. So, and each episode has left me wanting more. And it's been a great kind of after I get my Game of Thrones fix, whether you like it or not. I'm always like, yes, now I get some Barry as well. So it's been a nice follow up too. It's almost like a different.
After I watch Game of Thrones, I can't watch anything else.
That's a nice palate cleanser because it's rooted in reality.
It's almost like the Lost days. You watch Lost, and there's nothing else I could watch that night.
Oh, well, I wanted to, speaking of Barry, and I know we talked about serial killers a couple weeks back here.
Drake the Destroyer.
We didn't talk about Matt. I mean, Dan.
No, we didn't talk about Dan.
Well, remember
we
we've crossed Dan off our most wanted list.
we did.
Kind of
and
miffed about over the weekend.
I think he likes his title. I mean,
Yeah.
he grew to really love. Now to clarify, and I told
to kill people. Honestly,
I I know it's to clarify, like our fans should not be clamoring to be the killer.
The serial killer.
But I think it's like one of those things where like people, you have those people that write serial killers and murderers in prison. They become pen pals and they fall in love with them. Maybe that's what it is.
So you're saying at a Raleigh meetup next year, if we decide to do a murder mystery game, it's not going to be that much fun because everyone's going to want to be the murderer. And
I think so.
All right. Well, I have some new footage obtained through one of our listeners that sent me this. I'm gonna play some audio of a potential serial killer that they identified. Now, I haven't listened to this footage yet. This is coming at you raw here. I'm gonna go ahead and play this for you. Hopefully,
I can play it through my mic channel.
would you rather me do that?
Well,
Because I mean, I'd have to email it to you and all that jazz, So
email it to me. You said to lostpodcast@gmail.com. If
Well,
you
once again, that's lostpodcast@gmail.com.
As I say, Jay, you didn't put an emphasis on the Gmail.
Gmail.com.
Well, I don't say the Gmail. I say whatever podcast at.
Oh, right.
Gmail.com.
I just sent it to you through Messenger.
That's the one thing he gave me during the Lost Podcast days.
Let me see if
All right, you can do that. You can do the Gmail part, but not the whole Gmail. Just say gmail.com.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
he did win an award.
No, I did.
Oh, that's right.
I actually accepted the award. I was there in
I-
person. All right, I got it. You guys ready?
We can
Yep,
afford to send
yes,
everybody.
Let's go ahead and hear this audio here.
Oh wait, hold on. Speaker is out. Hold on, I got it.
God.
It was muted. I don't know why it was muted in my messenger.
I will cut you up in little pieces and your family would never see you again.
Wow. Wow.
Dang.
And that's from Home Alone, isn't it?
No, that's not
I
like-
remember. I know exactly who that is.
I do too, but I'm just saying.
Hold on, here we go. Let's play it.
I could cut you up in little pieces and your family would never see you again.
Wow.
Wow.
Can you believe that? I mean,
I don't know if that's a serial killer, just a murderer. That's just.
That just sounds like someone who's bitter.
That's someone who snapped. Just
Yeah.
snapped.
Yeah.
so
The kid, hey, I'm gonna say again, the kid deserved it.
That sounds like someone who ate editables that were a little too strong, and they didn't know what they were saying.
Well, now I'm starting to think that it wasn't the brownie because I told Jay last night. I told you both, didn't I? Tell you, Nick, too.
No.
I had a
Oh,
concussion.
that, yeah. Mhm.
So maybe that's what was causing all this stuff.
Maybe.
I'm kind of concerned because you didn't deny it. You just like you even identified the kid as like, yeah, he deserved it. Like
He
I'm
ju-
like,
he
holy
just he deserved to kill a little shit. He deserved it.
The person you're threatening in that
This is like what 30 some odd years ago they did this.
Oh, okay, sure.
so basically it was Jay when he bought Fireball.
No, it wasn't. Jay.
Fireball Island.
Fireball Island.
I think this was a closed case, like
But-
or a cold.
Is anyone getting feedback but me?
Yeah, I think when Jay did that
I know. Me
thing,
too.
it messed
Okay.
it up.
Hashtag me too.
I'm gonna hang up and come back. It's probably me. I'll
Okay.
be right back. You guys keep going.
Okay.
Don't worry about me. Don't wait for me.
Yeah. I don't know who played that for you. Dennis, who found it?
We're never gonna see Jay again.
I don't know who sent it to me, but you know, someone.
I'm not denying it because I said it.
I think it was Zach.
Zach.
No, I remember the story like it was. I remember the day like it was yesterday because the kid was such a little dick. He probably grew up to be a serial killer because he was one of those asshole kids.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of those
All
out
right,
there.
I never did it. I never
Okay,
followed.
all right, fair enough. Fair enough.
So you say.
I could have done it though, and never been caught. But I didn't. I'm not like Dan. I wouldn't leave a trail of DNA and evidence behind me. So
Hey, Dan has never been caught, so you don't know.
that's
And-
true.
And to clarify, like we basically said that Dennis was an assassin, which is different than a serial killer.
I couldn't remember what we said, but
No.
'cause-
Serial killers kill for pleasure. Assassins kill for money. There's a difference.
But I don't know if Dennis would kill for money. I don't think so.
Are you sure? I mean, he's living a pretty high life on all of that lacrosse money.
That's true. That's true. I think because he has that, like I said, he has that look when he's playing Cards Against Humanity. He doesn't blink. He just doesn't blink. I'm sorry.
I heard that Lady Gaga wrote that song about him. Poker face.
He's got the mediocre face. That's from Saturday Night Live. I'm not talking about Dennis. I'm talking about Saturday Night Live when Justin Timberlake said, "My mediocre face."
We lost Jay. He's never coming back.
Yeah,
He's-
He's not coming back. Yeah,
That was
right.
Jay's excuse. I'm not doing that after Ramblecast thing. Fuck that.
I've stayed. I said what I had to do. Bye bye.
I showed up, Nick. I got the intro that I wanted. You know.
Yeah,
So,
I'm big man on campus.
Look, guys. Leave the fans wanting more. I learned that in my Smashing Pumpkins band.
oh,
They want tonight. Guess what? You're just gonna get tonight. That's it.
just tonight.
Just
Not
tonight.
Tonight. That's it. Oh.
Look, today's the greatest day.
Yeah, I gotta catch up on Barry. I gotta catch up on what was the other show Jay was talking about?
Oh, Veep.
Veep. I gotta watch Veep. Nick has to watch Deadwood.
That's true. I do.
You've seen Deadwood, right, Matt?
Yes, I have.
I told Nick, I said last night on Game of Thrones, I don't know if we were recording or afterwards. I said, I guarantee you will love Deadwood. I guarantee it. You could watch it today and say, you know what? Jack was right. Jack was right.
Who was right?
Me.
He did come back.
Wow.
We had a bet that you weren't going to come back because you're like, fuck that. I'm not doing that after show shit.
Oh wait, are we at the after show already?
No.
No. We were thinking because, you're like, fuck the patrons. I'm not doing that after show.
Just like that, but Colleen and I right now are watching for the first time The Good Place, and it's really good.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Matt's the one that got me hooked on The Good Place.
I love the Good Place. Love me. some
Was
Good
it
Place.
you, Matt?
I maybe it might have been.
You kept
So-
talking about it on the RCAD, and I said, All right, I'll give it a try. It's hilarious. It's
It
fun.
is, and it's nuanced and like lost. Like
And you,
it
and
has
you
some,
have
like
you have to pay attention to the jokes too.
The jokes are pretty layered. There's something like right, Jason's like one of the best idiots of all time. And
yeah, and
Blake Bortles.
everything about the Jaguars, like it just pays off so good. It's so
So
good.
in the future, Blake Bortles win the Super Bowl. I think it was
Ted Danson's character.
Ted Danson goes, no.
he said, "I can't predict the future, but no."
No. you gotta be thinking. I'm Blake Bortles. I'm no longer on the Jaguars, so I can't be. But
Now, I just got to ask Jay, like, how far are you into
we're towards the end of season 2, so.
Okay, so you've already gotten to the Ted Danson where he makes a cameo in a certain place that reminds you of where everybody knows your name.
No, when did that happen?
Okay, never mind.
Spoiler alert.
He went to Raleigh?
Yeah, exactly. He went to
Yeah.
Raleigh and
he
showed
played
up. At Raleigh.
Fireball Island.
Yeah,
I can't remember when it
And,
happened.
and he was pissing off the Drake.
Sorry, it's in the end of it's coming up. Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. Look, it's not like Lock in the Casket kind of spoiler. All right.
It actually knowing that ruins the. You don't want to watch The Good Place now.
No,
It ruins the whole thing.
Like it I like shows that are funny, but it also like explores like the human psyche really well.
Yeah, Chidi's character is so good because he brings all of this philosophy that makes you like actually think about like humanity.
And then when he takes off his shirt, you go, "Fuck! I wouldn't fuck with Chidi. You just fucking chisel. You don't see that with the sweaters on, do you?"
It was Kristen Stewart, right? Kristen Stewart.
Yep. Oh no.
Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell. Mhm.
Thank you. She is awesome. She's so adorable. She's great at everything she does.
Yeah, and her husband makes a cameo too.
He does. I've seen. We just finished that.
Okay, all right, great. I didn't ruin that.
that either. Cool.
Well, I know that my wife. I said this before. My wife has a crush on Kristen Bell, but she doesn't watch the show because she used to watch all these videos of her on talk shows and stuff like that. And they had where her husband was on there, and he goes, "Look, I know people think, how did I get her? Why is she with me?" He goes, "Look, I always had the attitude, you're lucky to be with me." So I'm like going, I went, no.
No.
That's what I was. If I would have been interviewed, I'd go, no, you're just dreaming. But that's what he said. He goes, I always felt that I was better than anybody else.
I think I fell in love with her just as an actor in, of course, Veronica Mars, which is like one of those other.
Oh yeah.
TV. Like the first season of Veronica Mars is one of the best seasons of TV ever.
I've never seen it.
You would love the first season's great. It's a mystery. It's a whodunit.
It's in San Diego too, right?
And it's filmed in, again. It's actually filmed in San Diego, so you like know the place.
It's not one of those fake San Diego shows where they like Simon and Simon the second season and Harry O, where we're in San Diego. Bullshit.
It's like a fake. I don't know if they actually say San Diego or if it's like a fake town in San Diego, but it's filmed in San Diego.
It's like the Dick Show where they had the illegal dicks.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That was filmed in Oceanside. I think was it Chris? Because like, oh, that's a real city. Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the name of that show. That was a good show. It didn't get renewed.
Well, it had a second season. I never watched the second season.
Yeah. Anyway, Kristen Bell. I fell in love with her with Frozen, and
I fell in love with her with Deadwood.
I knew who she was, but the movie that really made me notice her was Fanboys.
Oh, was she in Fanboys?
Yeah, she's the one girl in Fanboys.
Okay, all right.
Because that movie was made like 2 or 3 years before it was ever released. It was great because you see when they actually finally got around to doing the press tour, like how much older they were.
Okay. Yeah,
because they made the film, and then whoever the studio that bought it from them had issue with the kid having cancer at the end, and that's why it was their whole purpose of trying to see episode 1 before it was released. And like, we don't like that it's the kid's got cancer. It's just a downer. And then they were trying to get him to reshoot it. And they're like, no, we want it to.
Was it a comedy?
It is a comedy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just like Chernobyl.
Yeah, it's like Chernobyl. It's exactly like Chernobyl. Actually, I think Chernobyl probably ripped off Fanboys a little bit.
I think they did. You're seeing a lot of hate on the internet about it too. They didn't build the characters up right. They should have had more episodes of Chernobyl and stuff like they didn't. Anyway.
They burned the city too quickly.
Yeah.
I totally get it. Yeah, I mean, you need to stretch these things out. You have to build the drama. You can't just start off.
Some characters got a great kill. That got a great killing, and then another character was slightly burned. So it was like, okay, whatever.
I mean, that's where Designated Survivor went wrong, is that they peaked in their first 2 minutes of the show because they killed off all the senators and representatives, and it's like, yes! And then it's like, well, where do you go from there?
Great, we're starting over. Hope the Secret Service isn't listening to this episode. Colorado.
Not part of this plot.
Colorado.
But okay, back to Fanboys just briefly.
I've never seen it.
I mean, think how progressive that was, though, because nowadays, I mean, there's always somebody that's dying that gets to see something before they die. It's kind of
that's what the plot's based on?
The plot, okay.
It happened recently, like with Game of Thrones, where this dying lady, should they let her watch the rest of it?
That's
I
true.
wonder if she's like, you know what? That kind of.
Can I get another wish?
Yeah.
Did she really say that?
No, she said, "Kill me now."
Oh,
It's like, oh, great.
that
Great.
was bad.
Oh, my God.
I kind of died inside before I actually die. Thanks.
That actually pushed her over.
That's great. I get to take that to my grave. Thanks, writers.
Yeah. No, Jack. I want to say Fanboys came out in 2007 or 9, somewhere in that area. And the premise is, these guys are probably 28 or so at the time, or maybe in their mid-20s, and they grew up, liking Star Wars. But this is in '99, or just in early '99, and one of them gets diagnosed with cancer, so they make it a mission to drive all the way to California to get George Lucas to get them to watch Episode 1.
Oh,
and that's one of the things that's funny is that at the very end, when actually it premieres, they all look at each other and goes, "What if this movie sucks?"
So it's kind of like the person got their. I don't hate to make fun of this, make a joke about it, but this person they got their wish to see the end of Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
same. Seeing Episode 1 of Star Wars.
That's what it was. Yeah, he wanted to see it before.
Yeah, but it's kind of the same disappointment.
And there's lots of cameos in it, like Carrie Fisher's in it, Ray Park's in it, William Shatner's in it. There's lots of.
That guy will just not stop working.
Yeah, he's 88 years old.
I know he's 88 years old. Stop working.
No, that guy,
Retire.
there's not a paycheck he won't accept.
That's true.
It's not. But he says that. He openly says that.
Does he have a lot of ex-wives? Does he just have a lot of alimony?
Yeah.
Well, he has a couple. He has a couple ex-wives.
What's weird to me is like when people say William Shatner, the thing that always pops in my mind when I think of William Shatner is the SNL sketch with John Lovitz. Every time, where it's just like,
oh yes,
it's like,
grow up.
It's just a TV show. You're obsessed with this thing I did, 20, 30 years ago. I mean, look at you. Have you ever had a girlfriend? It's like, God.
I love the Spock character that takes off his ears just quietly in that scene.
Oh my God. Yeah, but it's hard to believe that he's 88 years old and still going strong.
Still going strong.
But I guess if working makes you happy, you do what makes you happy, right?
Well, I mean, you look at I've never read his autobiography, but I think I saw something on one of those Celebrity Channel things where you look. He had an awesome life even before he got famous. Like all the stuff he did. He was just a daredevil. Like he canoed, or the New York Channel that goes all the way from the Great Lakes all the way to New York City. Like he did a lot of just random crazy stuff that kids do when they're dumb, young and dumb. And it's like, wow, like he really was just a go-getter.
I'm going to canoe.
Huh?
There. I'm going to canoe that.
I'm going to canoe there. Yes.
I mean, he's in an episode of The Big Valley. Big Valley TV show back in the day. I mean, you sit there and look, you go, that's when Star Trek was popular, and he's in The Big Valley. And that's what Jay's saying. He'll take any job he can get.
Well, no, that's when you knew Jack's references were going to be to a completely different.
I know. We can't listen to a show we've never watched or never heard of.
No, I'm not downing it. It's like, Big Valley, that great show.
It was
like Twilight Zone. I mean, there's tons of other references.
Hey, guys, they had. Okay, hold on a second, Jay. You probably didn't listen to the episode. The episode with Billy Mumy, who plays the bratty kid. Have you seen that Twilight Zone episode?
Twilight Zone?
Yeah.
Maybe. I watched all those when I was like...
Send him to the cornfield. Send him to the cornfield. That one?
I don't.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck off.
You'd know it if you saw it, Jay. He's
Probably.
just bitter.
They used to do marathons of those on TV, and I used to watch them when I was like 8, 9, 10 at my grandpa's house. And then so Zach's gotten into Godzilla all of a sudden. And
Really?
I watched all the
Really?
original movies. And,
Really, the old classic ones?
well, no, that new movie's coming out. So we saw Detective Pikachu this weekend, and they had the trailer. For
That doesn't scare him?
That's what's interesting. I did not like the first Godzilla. I mean, the reboot, the one that came out a few years ago. I thought it was really kind of stupid in a way.
It was okay. It wasn't great. It was okay.
There's a lot of scenes in it though. I was like, "Are you serious?" Like Elizabeth, whatever her name is, she gives her baby to some random person. Is like, "Watch out for them." I've got like no mother in history would ever give your child up, and like things like that are just really silly about it. But the new,
Sunwood.
Huh?
Sunwood.
Yeah.
Lost.
I got you. But then,
I'm sure there's a couple in Florida that would.
but like last week, they were predicting that the new one is only going to make $50 million, but yet the Rotten Tomatoes and all the reviews of it coming out are superb.
Yeah.
So it could really.
Who's in this one?
Well, it has one of my favorite actresses. What's her name from
Yeah, my favorite actress. What's her
Stranger
name?
Things? The one that you guys make fun of me for.
The what?
11.
11. The actress.
Oh, she's still not legal, Jay.
Jesus.
I was waiting for whatever the joke.
I'm gonna have to make like a top 10 like list of like jokes that Jack will not let die, or
You need more than that.
top 10 references of like
do you
movies
check
and
the top-
TV shows he will never forgive us for never seeing.
You guys remember that episode of Green Acres where
You guys
to be
you guys see that?
I'm living for me.
a good
I'm spread out so far and wide. Keep Manhattan, just give me that countryside, dude. That's where I'd rather stay. Oh, I get allergic spelling, hey. Oh,
You
I
set
just
him off.
adore a penthouse
Well, you
view.
can tell he has some
Oh,
mustache.
I love you, give me back out. I could go on, but I won't.
I think we found the new karaoke king.
I can do a TV theme songs.
That's the benefit of Jack being so predictable and repetitive. Is if he does die, I mean, we could keep that crap going for years.
So I can still be on the podcast.
Exactly. We could just
It's all good.
your jokes that you repeat over and over again.
I'm just saying, I haven't heard a voice that good since B. Arthur in the Christmas special. The holiday.
Well, I was doing not Jaja Gabor, Ava Gabor.
Ah,
Of course.
Ava Gabor was
Jaja was not in Green Acres.
she was not. Come on, let's be. Do we know that for a fact? It's like identical twins. We don't know that for a fact.
This was not Patty Duke. You
We're
gonna sing
cousins.
you gonna sing the theme song to PT 109 too?
PT. RJ, have you heard of PT 109?
What the fuck is PT
John
109?
Kennedy.
oh
John
my God! He's going to blow a gas.
Hey,
The vein in the middle of his forehead is going to come popping out any
it's
second.
not even fake. It's history. JFK was in.
It's just one more than
I like
the numbers.
Well,
108.
I had to watch it because my dad watched it. So
A definite article that is usually defined as part of the title. The adverb
I mean,
is usually defined as
Usually, do you have to be that you have an Amazon Echo in your own office?
Nor by that.
it
On that
plays me
account,
music.
in or by so much, or in some or any.
All right, Alexa, that's enough.
Expression is used
Jeez.
Wow, man, she is bossy.
He had to set it to the type of spouse that he prefers.
Well, maybe, but I didn't marry it.
Not make the same mistake twice.
Oh man,
Alexa we have some dragouts. Doesn't get
Oh, so anyway, so I remember watching all the Godzilla movies, same as X-Files, at my Papa Jack's house. So I was trying to remember for Zach. He's like, and who's King Ghidorah? Because one of his teachers at school is a big fan of Godzilla, and he's been talking about it. He came to him going, I want to see the trailer with King Ghidorah. And I was like, you're trying to refresh my Godzilla knowledge.
But he usually shies away from stuff like that, like on Paw Patrol when they have like the
He
volcanoes.
loves Jurassic Park, like there's things that he's afraid of, but he loves like dinosaur monster things. I don't know. But he loved Jurassic Park. Loved Jurassic Park.
Really?
And the trailer was at we saw
Wait, the original Jurassic Park or the remakes, the reboots?
first Jurassic Park, but he's like the remakes too. But the first one he loved.
All right, he's too young to realize those suck. The reboots.
I mean, that scared me, and I was 12 when that movie came out.
I think he's just obsessed with dinosaurs and just learning about them and seeing them.
sure.
That's what he cares about. not the scary stuff. He'll like hide or cover his eyes for scary stuff, but he's like seeing them. But the trailer's really good for the new Godzilla movie, the final trailer or whatever.
It does look good. Yeah, I've seen
Wait,
it.
did we determine who's in it? Because I think I asked who's in it.
Coach Taylor from Friday Night Lights is in it.
Oh, okay.
11.
Chandler's in it. That's right, because 11, you have your crush. I forgot.
There's a few people in it. Ken Watanabe?
Yeah, he was in the first one. Yeah.
How come I can't remember Chandler? What's his full name? Because he doesn't.
Chandler Bing?
No, not Chandler Bing. This guy he's one of those guys that doesn't age.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He was in Friday Night Lights. Jay hates that show.
I always know him from Pure Country
Isn't it? Is that his name?
with George Strait that came out forever ago.
Chandler.
Kyle Chandler.
Kyle
Kyle
Chandler.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because Jay hated, because you guys watch Friday Night Lights, right?
Nope.
Not.
Fucking A.
Friday Night Lights. It's one of the best shows on TV.
It was one of the best shows of all time.
Making my list here. Mm-hmm.
It's one of the best shows of all time. I'm telling you.
Never been a big
Shows of all time. Is anybody getting excited for this Watchmen show?
I am. I saw the.
again.
Yeah, I watched. I saw the trailer right before that.
It has Regina King, so that's got to be good, right?
I mean, if I don't see a big swinging dick from Mr. Manhattan, it's just not gonna be worth it.
The trailer confused me because I didn't read anything about it other than I knew Damon Lindelof was doing it, so I was pumped.
Mhm.
But I thought they was gonna probably start with the original limited comic book.
So are we podcasting about it?
And maybe if you want to read I have the comic. The original comic, but
I would totally podcast about it. I've read that Watchmen comic. I love the.
Wait,
I actually liked the movie when it came out.
Did anyone ask fan favorite if we wanted him in the podcast?
I would need somebody beyond Jack's. You never seen.
Right?
Oh yeah, I can see it in Jack's face that he did not get my big swinging dick comment.
I didn't. I don't. You lost my big swinging dick. I don't know.
It's just like that Petticoat Junction episode.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. There's no big swinging dick in Petticoat Junction.
Did you get a close
At least
look
on
at that
camera.
pig?
Let's just say that the big swinging dick met the junction. Yeah.
At the junction, Petticoat Junction.
No, like okay, in the movie, Jack,
Okay.
that came out in 2008, 9, somewhere in there.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right.
Because
The actor Billy Crudup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Billy. He was Mr. Manhattan, and the thing about Mr. Manhattan is he was basically vaporized by atomic energy, and he's extremely smart, and he's like a all-encompassing, all-knowing being.
yeah.
And every scene you see him in, he's completely naked, and it's just a big swinging dick every time he's walking, and that's all your eyes are focused on.
Every time,
Not every time, but still, you're just like, what in the?
Just to clarify, Nick, my eyes weren't going to the dick.
I mean, you don't have to like stare at it. You can just like look at his eyes. You know,
I can't see anything else.
Yeah.
It's a big swinging dick.
Okay.
I don't know
guys.
if you saw. I don't know if you saw it on IMAX and you were like on the lower level.
That's probably
I'm
true.
looking up at it.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
it's
pretty
a
lucky.
big
Okay.
dick. And he had 3D glasses on too.
Yeah, it's like it's coming at me. Ah!
My eye, my eye.
It's a horror movie.
what's his name?
That's a handsome dick.
It wasn't a Justin Theroux size penis. Like it was a normal size. It didn't seem.
Yeah, it's normal. Yeah.
It didn't seem aggressively.
Well,
large.
hold on a second. You just got for 5 minutes. I was a big swinging dick. Now it's just
Yeah, it was a normal size dick. It wasn't-
Well, you know, he was a shower, not a grower.
If
so
you see it on the big screen, you know, as Nick did
in the
on
IMAX, in the first row, where you're looking up at it, it's like dangling. You know, he was like ready to teabag me at any second.
were you like ducking the whole time? Oh my god!
All right.
Like, do you remember? You remember the asteroid worm in Empire Strikes Back? It's like that. Like it just kind of came out of nowhere and went, "Rawr!" You know, like,
Snow Cave. I am excited about the TV show because it looks like it deviates, or I don't know if it's taking place after or before. Or what's
Apparently taking place 30 years after.
nice? Okay.
So, and that's where I didn't understand because I was like, well, why is there so many Rorschach? So apparently
Mhm.
it's 30 years after. And if you read the comic book, you know, whatever, Rorschach kind of had this journal about what everything he saw because he kind of figured out the big twist or whatever. So this cult is developed around Rorschach. It's Dr. Manhattan's still not on Earth.
I've never read the comics or seen the Big Dick movie, but it looked the previews looked interesting to me. I mean, I said opposite.
I'd argue the original comic book series is one of the greatest pieces of fiction ever written.
It's amazing. It is really good, and I mean, they had a hard time in the movie putting in the secondary comic story, and they actually did make a kind of a secondary animated. So if you've ever seen the extended version of Watchmen, it includes
extended.
Well, because in each comic, there's 12 comic books that make up the whole story.
Okay.
Mhm.
One, there's like little things that are added on, either like old newspaper clippings or this Black Freighter. There's these other things that kind of help you understand more about the story.
And it's referencing a lot of other comic books and comic book history as well. So it's not just I mean, it's nuanced in the way that it layers the history of comics within the comic itself. So it's very meta in that way.
In the previews, did I see Don Johnson?
You did. So,
That's a sell right there.
Don Johnson, I think, is Night Owl or whatever. I think he's
Okay.
I thought he was Crockett.
No. But anyway, Matt, I would love to do one with you. Jack, you need to read the comic because
Why do I have to read? Do I have to read the comics and watch the show?
you have to have some context of what happened before. You can't-
I did the whole Game of Thrones podcast without doing that.
Yeah, and we had to shut down before we got nicked.
Well, because we were doing 5 podcasts a day, and neither one of us could pronounce the names.
I know.
So,
Anyway,
Well,
And
we'll
even
put
I
a pin in
can't
that for
well,
now.
I'm being kicked to the curb. That's fine. I can take
no,
it.
you're not being kicked to the curb. I want you to be there. I don't want to do this without you.
Sure. You want me to be there, but I'm being kicked to the
You
curb.
literally just have to read a pretty short comic book series, like 12 comic books.
Yeah, only 12. Yeah.
There's a lot of pictures.
I don't.
Pictures.
Oh,
There-
picture. Okay, then
There's
I can do,
pictures. There's pictures.
I can do that. I can do that.
There's-
Can you get in the Cliff Notes? No.
It's just more pictures.
I want to read
Less
the
words.
Hamilton book after I'm done with it. Like, it's gonna be a lot quicker to read this than the Hamilton book. I'll say that.
Oh no, the Hamilton book would be more interesting for me than.
You should really read the comic book before you see the Big Dick movie. So,
So I'm gonna be out I'm out in public reading the Big Dick. Big Dick.
It's honestly it's a normal sized dick. Like, I don't know why Nick's making such a big deal about the dick, but I like.
I just said big swinging dick. It isn't. It
fat
wasn't
bender-
Maybe it was big. Maybe it was big because that's what he thinks is big.
I never noticed it was swinging either, but you know.
Okay, because
Here comes Jonathan.
swinging doesn't. Okay, his normal flaccid dangling penis just doesn't quite sound the same as his big swinging dick. So
Oh, but speaking, I just did a Carol Burnett impression of her doing Tarzan. I don't. I'm sure you guys remember Tim Conway.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he passed away today. One of the funniest people in the history.
And Doris Day was yesterday.
Yeah, Doris Day was yesterday. Queso Rasa Raw.
Always
to watch-
always
I used to
comes in threes.
But Tim Conway was a big one for me. Because I spent years laughing at that guy. I used to remember watching Carol Burnett show with my mom, and everybody would go, "Is Tim Conway gonna be on?" He's not a regular. That's before he became a regular on the show. But no, Tim Conway, sad news.
How old is he? Like, was he old?
85.
I mean, that's pretty good. If I get to 85, that'd be fine.
I mean, that's right up there with Shatner.
Well,
You know.
Shatner's still going though.
I mean, if you think about it, like 90 to 100 are not great years.
No,
They're not that good. I mean, at best, maybe 90 is okay, but after that,
Doris Day was 97.
I was saying, like, you tell me those years were good, 90 to 97, they're probably
Well,
miserable.
Is it better? Well, you don't know. Some people are keep themselves in shape.
Yeah, there's like the Dick Van Dykes of the world that is seemingly just as happy. He's like,
And he's like 97.
94. He's 94.
Well, that's because he's British.
Dick Van Dyke.
I'm 97 years old.
Yeah.
All those pratfalls are going to catch up with
Yeah.
him, though, guys.
That guy has a big swinging dick.
He does.
You know, I bet you he does. He's fairly tall and lanky. He probably has a big penis.
Yeah, and I mean to get a get like
Name it,
Mary
Dick.
Poppins. I
Yeah,
mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, Mary Poppins isn't going to just
I'll
like.
give you a spoonful of sugar.
Yeah, they're- yeah. Mhm.
I'll create that chimney.
Wow, this
Hey, Mary
podcast.
Poppins.
Tim Trim.
That's a different kind of chimney
Well,
sweep.
it has Dick in the name, so I guess you know.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun,
I feel like
dun.
it's like false advertising or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you better have a big
Asshole.
dick.
It's either you have a big penis or you're an asshole if your name.
He was no Jerry Van Dyke. We'll say that.
My mother, the car. Anyway,
Oh man.
oh, wow,
So Nick
we just destroyed Dick Van Dyke. Then.
Dix and
Yeah.
the movie's not bad though. Recently rewatched. I remember watching it in the theaters like, oh, this is disappointing. Like being
Wait.
cliche, like the book.
What are we talking about?
Watchmen.
Oh, okay.
But the movie's not bad. Like it, especially the extended versions where they add in the whatever. Like it's not bad.
Yeah, I think actually the mistake with the Watchmen was more casting because there's some actors are cast perfectly, like Rorschach and some other things, and then some of them you're just kind of like, they should have got someone a little better.
Mm-hmm.
Or had more episodes.
I liked who they cast for the comedian.
It's
Yeah, the comedian. Yeah, that's
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah, it's Walking Dead. Jack for reference.
Well, I knew who Jeffrey.
Oh, Negan.
no.
Yeah.
To me,
He's also on a Grey's Anatomy.
actually, it's long, but I think the extended version where they put in the Black Freighter, I think does a pretty good job, and it's Zack Snyder's best comic book movie because the rest of them,
Yes.
maybe 300 is pretty good, but
I mean, he takes some scenes almost shot for shot from the comic,
Mhm.
like the way he did it, and I don't know. I mean, and the soundtrack's great. Some of the songs that he pulls, you know.
Oh yeah.
So.
I mean, I still remember them using that Smashing Pumpkins song. That it was just
the worst Batman movie, but like putting that song in the trailer, like so fucking cool.
it was so cool. I was like, oh, I want to watch this. That sounds bad.
If there's anything, it just didn't live up to that trailer because that trailer was badass.
That's
Yeah.
I know exactly.
But Jack, maybe just watch the trailer. Maybe that'll get you enticed and be like, Watchmen, I should get into this.
You mean the movie or the trailer of the?
The trailer for the movie. The trailer for the show looks great too.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah, you should walk into your nearest Best Buy, Jack, and just say, I'm looking for the big swinging dick movie. They'll know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, all right.
Well, no, big swinging blue dick.
Blue Dick. Yeah, I want the Blue Dick movie.
Give me the
They're
Blue
like-
Dick movie.
Not
They're
the
like-
blue, not the blue, not the blue, not the
they're in
blue
Vegas,
milk
right?
movie. Not the blue milk movie. The Blue Dick movie.
Isn't Blue Dick? Isn't that in Vegas?
Make sure you don't get Smurfs.
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
Or
that will-
Where's Papa Smurf? Show me your dick. I gotta see the dick.
the new CGI Will Smith genie. I believe there's a penis shot.
Well, there was one in the original cartoon, I think, or was that with the word fuck?
Little Mermaid.
No,
Okay.
Little Mermaid had the penis. Apparently,
on the cover.
it's the knees or whatever, the priest's knees, but it's definitely a penis.
Yeah.
Yeah, those Disney artists.
That Walt
I'll tell you.
Disney, he had kind of a sixth sense of humor.
Well, he was dead by then, but sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Was he? They froze him.
I'm
He's
sure-
perfectly. He's alive.
I'm sure if you go to see Steamboat Willie, there's a dick there somewhere.
No, there's just a lot of anti-Semitism.
Wow. Okay.
He likes to get his wheel turned. No.
he likes to get
When he's kind of when blowing,
Bueller.
I'm sure he's got some dick hanging out somewhere, and it's a mouse. He's not wearing pants, right? The Steamboat Willie.
And we mentioned
No,
this
Mickey-
earlier.
Mickey
Our
wears
artist
That's
had
pants.
a
right.
little-
Donald doesn't wear.
Donald doesn't wear pants.
Donald's proud of his.
Yeah.
There's feathers there, guys. There's feathers.
But
Yeah,
I'm sure
and then you have Winnie the Pooh. Also, is just out there, just bare assing it. No pun
Well, in
intended.
fairness to that, he doesn't wear a shirt in the book. He's just like a teddy bear. So
Wow.
the adding
Yeah.
a shirt, I think, almost accentuates the fact that he's not wearing pants, which is what.
He is a stuffed bear. He's
Yeah.
a stuffed teddy bear. Like you're
so,
you know.
so he has no dick either.
Yeah, exactly. A stuffed teddy bear is not gonna have. I mean, unless you're into like that sort of furry lifestyle, you're not gonna have a stuffed teddy bear with a penis. Now, maybe Teddy Roosevelt had one laying around. We don't know, but
What's the name
I've
of
had a lot. To
Well, his thing was to walk softly and carry a big stick, wasn't it? That was his motto, wasn't it?
It's true.
And did you ever see him carrying a stick? No.
Well,
So what was he getting at? What was he getting at when he's saying that?
that was his foreplay.
Yeah,
Just saying. Speak
Hey.
softly.
hey, baby.
He had like 15 kids or something like that, so that makes sense.
Huh.
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
He's an interesting dude. Like I went to his house in Long
Did you
Island.
say hello to him? Were you invited?
No, he's dead, but his house was interesting. That dude was an interesting, really fascinating guy. One of my
Mhm.
favorite presidents of all time. Really cool.
really,
I know that Jack and I agree with that. I'm not sure about Matt. But yeah, Teddy Roosevelt's in my top 2. Yeah.
I like Teddy.
I like Teddy.
I mean, he did some stupid things, but we all do.
They all do.
Well, no,
Actually, there's a good miniseries on. I forget who it was on the Roosevelts. It was Franklin and Teddy basically, and then.
Oh yeah,
it's on Netflix. Well, it was on Netflix. It was very.
I thought it was a PBS special.
It might have been, but it was on. I saw it on Netflix.
Yeah, my favorite presidents would be Alexander Hamilton, number 1.
Alexander Hamilton was never president.
I mean, he practically was.
I go with Benjamin Franklin.
George Washington
Right.
administration, he was practically president. He was,
I go with Ben Franklin.
and then Teddy Roosevelt and Abraham Lincoln, and then George Washington.
You just put Abraham Lincoln to piss him off, didn't you?
He saved the Union. I'm sorry, Nick wanted to secede, but he saved the damn Union.
Not everybody can have Jefferson Davis on their list, man.
So yeah, Thomas Jefferson.
Jefferson's the worst. He hated the presidency. It's not even on his.
That's right, because it's a bullshit office.
Oh God.
Truman's my favorite. Truman and then Roosevelt.
Really?
Teddy Roosevelt. I love Truman. Yeah.
Ugh.
You get a bang out of Truman. Let's see.
Yeah. I would argue that Truman was really the last good president.
He really blew it up.
Yeah,
did.
he did.
You could almost say he dropped the bomb on it.
Yeah, he did. Instead of dropping the mic, and he did it twice.
Yeah, twice. Like, oh, do it again.
That's right. What an encore.
It's as funny as Chernobyl.
Oh, that's sad.
On that note, though,
Truman's number 1 for you? That's of course. Nick's favorite president would be Truman. It only makes perfect sense.
He's a Missouri boy.
The buck stops here.
Oh man.
Anyway, if you like this show,
And who
No,
doesn't?
this was I thought a good podcast. I thought it went.
You're welcome.
We went very juvenile with this one.
Yeah, well,
It was my fault. It's my fault. But
you did bring up the big swinging dick,
I
and
did.
that came out of nowhere.
Nick, if you like the basic music, that's fine, right? What do you do, okay, it's still a non-judgmental zone.
I had to duck. Big swinging dick came by.
hey, this is practically a crossover episode with two honorary broads on here. So it's only par for the course that we get a lot of that's what she said jokes and dick jokes. So I feel like we've done our part.
But go ahead.
No, Jack. You were gonna say something about how you can.
Do you shop at? Does everyone here shop on Amazon? Does everyone here shop on
I bought
Amazon?
a book today on Amazon.
Did you buy a book today on Amazon?
Did
You
Nice.
can read?
I can? It was about how to get your PMP certificate.
I have a great book on Lincoln, Jay, if you'd like to read it.
Project management?
Project management, yeah, PMP.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's expensive.
Well, so I already have
my Lincoln jokes.
3,500 hours of
Didn't hear you, Jack. Sorry.
I
management.
said I have a great book on Lincoln if you want to borrow it, Jay. It's
The guy did
Lincoln Team of Rivals. It's
well,
actually,
the guy did the one on Hamilton did one on Grant, which I kind of want to read because I've always just had this opinion of Grant that he was a shitty person.
well, he kept throwing up on his bugler.
Well, he was one of the worst presidents we've had, and he was an alcoholic.
Hold on a second. On Hell on Wheels, he was a great president.
What? Oh, on the show. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm fascinated to learn more about him because I really feel like I know nothing about Grant. So I think that's going to be my next.
He's on the $50 bill.
No. Well, I mean, like Grant to me, just had the
You know your
luckiest.
thoughts on Grant. Okay, he killed a lot of your people.
He did.
Still bitter about it.
Yeah. Well, he was not a very good tactician. He just knew that he had. He just knew that he had the numbers, and he just forced hundreds of thousands of innocent Irish people to their deaths in order to win.
He had a dragon. He wanted to use it.
Exactly. That's
You
exactly
could
what
make
Grant
the
did.
same claim about
Daenerys.
Truman. You could make the same claim about Truman.
It's true. You could.
You're telling me you're mad at Grant for like using his excessive power, but Truman's your favorite president? Come on.
Truman did what he had to do. So did Grant. But I'm saying, yeah.
Keep you Southern boys and bring you in line.
Well, I think Jay had this original Ramblecast. We had an argument because I was about John Adams. About why did he get a book? Now it's a great book. The miniseries fantastic. But when you're thinking back in time, you go, okay, John. Okay, you got 45 presidents. Well, okay. Yeah.
He's fascinating. I think just from his story, like sure, he's kind of a shitty president, but I feel
Well, I don't think
he did that I think are important to
he was being undermined by Jefferson the whole time.
with Jefferson, Hamilton, like on both sides, he was kind of being brought down. But I think he also was kind of not a very good person to be president. But
he wasn't a great leader.
Right.
No, he wasn't at all. But but still, like his journey, like how he was the lawyer for those people that were part of the Boston Massacre and like defended them and got them exonerated or whatever. Like his story, I think, is really fascinating.
Brother has a great beer.
Plus, Abigail Adams, I think, is like a very fascinating person in terms of
who slept with Thomas Jefferson.
But I think, like honestly, I think Abigail was the brains of that relationship in a lot of ways. So
well, John Adams was smart. He just wasn't
smart, but I think Abigail was probably the more.
Well, she was more politically savvy, where he wasn't.
And that's where I feel like their story intertwined. I think is really fascinating. So
I don't want to be a one-termer. I don't be a one-termer.
Sorry, John.
Yeah, both him and his son.
Yeah, one-termer. But no, the whole thing when you start thinking of presidents, you go, okay, obviously Lincoln gets a lot of books written on him, Washington, but it's like Adams. Okay.
But if Adams was just the president, sure, he wouldn't have a book. But everything else he did, like he was part of the Declaration, the five.
Oh, he did a lot.
Yeah, so it's not just his presidency.
I know.
No one writes a book about Harrison, which is a crime.
Yeah. That's my number 2 favorite president. Reuben and Harry.
He was. He knew when to get
Garfield.
out.
Yeah,
and Garfield.
Really early. Yeah,
really early.
Hey, it's snowing outside.
Don't make fun of our Indiana president, okay? You know,
is that where he was from?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
He didn't know how to stay out of the rain, apparently.
In fairness, George Washington also died because he was like tending to his livestock or whatever, like in the cold and like.
But at least he was out of the office. I mean, at least
he didn't change out of his wet clothes. Like he stayed in his wet clothes for like a day, and he got like sick and couldn't. And
well, you know why he didn't change out of his clothes is because his wife was bitching at him. No, his wife was like, "You should change out of those clothes." I'll wear these clothes.
I'll do what I want.
Mind your business.
I was president. Damn it.
Stay out of it, Martha.
First one. I'm number 1. I'm going to be on
$100 bill, motherfucker.
Yeah. What have you done? What have you done?
As long as I want.
I'm going to roll around. It's snowing. I'm going out in my wet clothes.
I'm just saying, we've all been there. Martha was probably bitching at him. I'll say these clothes. I have my supper in them too.
He got really sick and then he died of a sore throat.
Yeah, Martha probably drew him a hot bath. Oh, just have a bath. And he's no, going to bed in these clothes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He did. It's fascinating how he
open the windows. It's not cold enough in here. Drink this orange juice. Fuck the orange juice. I don't want it.
Yep.
if I want to because it's my choice.
Get a flu shot, George. No, fuck the flu shot. Fuck it.
I fought for these freedoms to make myself safe.
Yeah, exactly.
One of in this season of Veep, one of the characters running for president, and he's being like the crazy person running for president. And he's
is it Jonah?
Jonah, and he's supporting these anti-vaxxers, but then he gets chicken pox, and then he spreads the chicken pox to all the different anti-vaxxers throughout his political campaign.
Nice.
But then he ends up somebody that wanted to be like one of his secretaries, ended up getting chickenpox again and going blind, so he had to like give up. It's really funny.
It's funny when someone goes blind.
Well, hey,
that's comedy gold.
It's not Chernobyl here.
It actually goes back
America.
It does go back to Chernobyl. Yeah.
All right, let's close out the show.
All right, guys. If you shop Amazon, and Jay does,
I do.
You can go to jayandjack.com. The little thing says shop Amazon. It looks like your normal Amazon website, and everything you click, it gives a little bit to everybody, all the people on the podcast, all the Jay and Jack Podcasting Network. Also, you can become a patron. Go to patreon.com. Just go to jayandjack.com. Click on the button that says become a patron. We take from $1 to $1 million. If you give $1 million, you can guest on this show of your choice. We're not going to let you go guest on all of them. But if you give $1 million, you can pick the podcast.
Like $1 million and you split it between all the podcasters.
I think that's probably true, except for the broadcast. They're really picky who they choose.
Yeah, I would step down. You could have my place as artist and host.
Yeah, we'd split it equally. But since I've been campaigning for it, I think I should get a bigger chunk.
No.
Don't be greedy, Jack.
Don't be like
I want that big swinging dick $1 million coming our way.
Hey, if you shop at Amazon, and who doesn't, go ahead and just search Big Swinging Dick and buy whatever you do. But make sure you go to jayandjack.com/Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah, thank you, Sherry, for reminding me.
And we thank our patrons. We thank all of them, but we're going to thank Tackroom Togo, Eckhart Richter Gloffler, Maggie the Magnificent, Joanne with the Plan, Drake the Destroyer, and Ed the Creepy Letter Carrier. Thanks for doing what we do, and thanks for everybody for listening to us. Don't forget, you can send us an email at rcadcast@gmail.com. Once again, it's rcadcast@gmail.com. You can't call us because we won't pick up, but you can also give us a 5-star review and get one of Matt's great drawings.
I have one here for you that I haven't given you yet.
Oh yeah, I left one. I left one there.
I just saw you yesterday.
I know I forgot to give it to you. Do you want me to reveal it to him, Matt, or no?
Sure. I think
Not a big swingy dick with it.
Woo!
I can't see it.
Is it lemonade?
Yeah, Simply Jack. I think.
Simply Jack.
Oh, nice. I like it.
Simple
Yeah.
Jack.
I did that on one of our podcasts at one point. Simply Jack. It's Simply Juice, except it's Simply Jack. I like to draw planets or skies or weird shit. I also have this ocean one.
I want to frame that Fireball Island whenever you finish it. I want it to be.
Oh, you're drawing Fireball Island, huh?
I am drawing Fireball Island. I don't have that with me in front of me. I have a little mini Fireball Island that I started working on too. So
how does Jessica end up with so many drawings?
She likes me, She stopped by my store.
I saw that. I told you she was coming.
Yeah, that was really nice. That she bought some art supplies from me. It was really nice. I showed her around. I gave her a tour of the store.
So
Jack, are you forgetting she's Canadian? They're all nice.
I do forget it.
All right. Well, anyway, if you like what we do, though, as Jack said, give us a review. Send us an email. If you want one of my drawings or not, I don't care. I'll still send one to you. I'll hunt you down and I'm going to mail it to you.
And chop you into little pieces.
But I won't force the tea on you. Either way, before Jack cuts me off, great show, kids. 1 in a million.
See you next Tuesday.
Now he stole Chris's. See ya.
Bye.
Always